does a $2 can of Coca-Cola substitute, like Au Natural, fancy. It tastes like dishwater. My suggestion to you, Virgils, is stick to root beer. This is terrible. This cola needs to just start over. And there is your lesson in being a great manager. Brought to you by better.com. All right. Hey, Noties. Good to see y'all. Got a couple of fun stories for you today. And Molly Wood's going to join us next week, I understand, just to say hi to all the Noties. So get ready for Molly Wood coming soon to the show, starting in the new year. But she's we're going to do, I think, 2 shows a week for the next 2 weeks. And then All In is going to publish over the holiday. All In's going to do our what are we going to do at All In, Nick?
So it's going to be, most likely it'll be
predictions.
It'll be
year in review.
Year in review awards on New Year's. That'll drop New Year's Eve. And then predictions for next year will drop. I'm sorry. Year in review, our rewards will drop Christmas Eve. Year in review will drop our prediction. Oh my God. My brain is broken.
Yep.
Awards will drop Christmas Eve
for the year.
Predictions for next year
in review, then predictions.
Then predictions. Yep. And it'll be Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve.
And so what you want to do is obviously have a watch party. We should put on the YouTube, like one of those, set a reminder, like it's going to launch on this time at this date, since it'll be pre-recorded, Nick. And then people can watch it. And then the chat room, we have like an official debut date. YouTube has that feature. So if we can get that done, then people could actually on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve make this their celebration.
Yeah.
As opposed to because there's a lot of losers out there who are going to be home. Yeah. And they don't get invited to parties, including myself. Like if you've got kids and family, you're not going
I have to check if you can do I know that you can do them for live videos, obviously, but I'm not sure.
No, you can do it for people are doing it now. Yeah, you can
it's called live premiere or set as instant premiere or something like that.
So premiere, because they're doing it with trailers and music videos now. Okay.
Right.
So for those I think people will give up there, and then people could talk. What's great about when you do a live premiere is I think they put a chat on it. So then people who are watching it live get to experience it live,
I could put the for
movie premiere,
for the year in review, I could put the categories as well, so people could get a preview.
Absolutely. People could, if we can come up with a couple where we have the nominations and then we each pick from the nominations, then people could bet on it, like the Oscars. So if there were like 5 questions, the Dow will end up.
Nancy Pelosi's down. Minus 5,000 for Trader of the Year.
Oh God, it's so great. All right, let's get going with our incredible news lineup today.
Speaking of
Grift,
I'm
go ahead, Nick. I bring Nick on the show for one long extended segment. Now he's just the co-host.
Grift of the day. Speaking of grifts, you're up. Go ahead.
Grift of the day. Hold on a second. Yes, I'm upping my game. My wife is like, you look good on camera. You lost the weight. I don't know what's going on with the t-shirts. So my wife went out shopping for me yesterday, and she spent more. She bought me sweaters. I'm going to leave it at that. She doesn't know. She doesn't listen to All In, so she has no idea about Shamak's sweater game thing. But she thinks I should have layers. So she goes out and she buys me 8 sweaters. I'm like, how much did you spend on sweaters?
Is that one of the sweaters? That's a quarter zip.
She got me. She knows I love quarter zips. Quarter zips kind of my look. I had 2 quarter zips, and they lasted me like 10 years each. I ran them into the ground, wore them every night.
One of the most versatile pieces of clothing you could have.
I could put a blazer over this.
Anything.
I could put a blazer over this. I could chop wood. Either way, I can go either direction.
You could wear it to the movies. You could wear it while you're lounging on the couch. Actually, funny story. I'm wearing this. I have the same exact outfit on as you right now.
Are you quarter zipped?
Quarter zip, navy blue quarter zip, white t-shirt.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I think I'm black, but yeah, same thing. I mean, we could go to think about it. We got the Knicks game courtside with this. You could...
Gentleman's attire.
You could put a blazer over it and go to an engagement party, Yeah. Anything's possible here. So I am like, oh no. Because I think poor, and I'm like always concerned about spending money. And she says, I said, how much you spend on these? Like 8 sweaters. I'm having like a little bit of a panic attack about it. And she says, well, I spent like whatever, $2,000 or something, $3,000. And I was like, oh my God, you bought $3,000. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, these are $2,000 each or something. Like I'm right back to the store. I'm literally ready to checking Yelp if the store's still open to drive right back down the hill. And they were $250 each or $350 for each sweater. And I was like, is that what a sweater should cost? $300 or $250? And she's like, yeah, that's what it costs. And I was like, all right, fine. So I accepted the sweater. So anyway, sweater game coming up. I know a lot of you like when I'm just in the tee, but you know, and I was 174 today. I'll be on American Glutton, Ethan Suplee's podcast tomorrow. New celebrity bestie. So in the bestie running, Hassan Minaj, Ethan Suplee, Adrian Grenier. And I got another one that I can't bring up right now. As a director. So that's the current running for the, new bestie celebbies. Let's get started here. Let's go. I could have done one more layer on here, by the way. I mean, I could have wore.
You could do vest.
Could do vest.
You could do like a
blazer.
Yeah, like a
ascot
lounge jacket.
Lounge jacket. Okay, I didn't know there's. Oh, lounge jacket is
a top coat.
I didn't even
you ever
know
see a nice top coat over a quarter zip? Looks great.
Oh, really? Top coat. Interesting.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know. I didn't know quarter zip as a term. So when I had those two, I was like looking for like zip up sweater or whatever. I couldn't find it. Now I can do quarter zip, and I'm going to find these everywhere.
It's legitimately one of the best articles of clothing of all time. It's incredible. You're wearing for anything.
Amazing. All right, here we go. 3, 2. All right, everybody. It's time for Grift of the Day. Yes, it's a very grifty time right now. We have Nancy Pelosi on one side, the greatest trader ever, putting up a strong defense that she should be able to trade on all the amazing information she and other politicians get. That's absolutely deranged. But there's nothing better than presidential and presidential family grift. Those are the high order grifts because every country, every corporation loves to get a picture of a former president of the United States, in their lobby, by their logo, next to their CEO, and you just put that up and you're instantly credible. Some of the least credible investors I've known, and founders for that matter, have a picture of themselves with Clinton, Obama, Trump, Bush, everybody in their offices, on their social media, Instagram, whatever. And it's just a classic great grift. If you are modestly wealthy, you can pay $25,000 to $50,000 to get a picture with any president you want. And so you can collect all 4 presidents for $100,000, less than half the price of a Bored Ape. You can put 4 pictures of 4 presidents on your wall. And then when you do sales or anybody comes, it's the greatest trick in the book. And a lot of those top of the funnel coach, mastermind, ebook, grifters use this technique and they talk about it. They'll hire John Travolta. They'll hire, any celebrity who just needs a quick $50K speaking gig to do those pictures and to sort of associate. It has nothing to do with the content. It's just to get the picture. So they give them the $50K to get the picture and then boom, they're good. So in our grift of the day, Melania Trump is launching an NFT platform. I kid you not, at Melania Trump. Here's the announcement. Excited for this new venture, which combines my passion. I should do it in a Melania voice, right? Excited for this new venture, which combines my passion for art and commitment to helping our nation's children fulfill their own unique American dream to grift hard on Web3. I read that last sentence. The former First Lady tweeted a document from the office of Melania Trump stating the first NFT available for purchase, so this is going to be a series, will be called Melania's Vision, priced at 1 Sol, which is $180 as of this morning. RIP to the 240 Sol. Sorry to my besties. The NFT is watercolor art that, quote, embodies Mrs. Trump's cobalt blue eyes, providing the collector with an amulet to inspire. It also includes an audio recording of Melania Trump. And here it is, a message of hope from Melania Trump.
My vision is look forward with inspiration, strength, and courage.
Look forward and be inspired.
My vision is
with inspiration is to
strength and courage.
divorce Donald and get Mar-a-Lago as a settlement and turn it. Oh God, it's just so brutal. So you can buy this. I think she's going to do it every day. I think it's pretty awesome. I got to admit, Like, I don't want to be one of 10,000 apes, but kind of do want to own one of these. And I think she should cameo it. So it should be like, this is special inspiration to This Week in Startups team. Be your best. Your boss is insufferable, but be best. This is legitimate art. For me, this is legitimate art. Melania is an icon. I'm not a Trump supporter, as you all know, but I'm Team Melania, man. I think she is got like a kind of interesting sense of humor here about this. And I like when she like bats away Donald Trump's hands or rolls her eyes at him. Like, she is a queen, and like these are going to become, I predict, huge. Like, she could just do this every day, like inspiration a day from Melania Trump. This could become super viral. This could be her moment. And if she sells one of these a day for a couple of G's, I mean, she's going to be doing, as good as Perez Hilton on Cameo, who I think was the top person on Cameo for a while. Trump stated, "I'm proud to announce my new NFT endeavor, which embodies my passion for the arts," yada, yada. I said that already. Through this new technological-based platform, we will provide children computer science skills, including programming and software development, to thrive in the age out of the foster community. Okay, I guess she's going to do some. I see, a portion of the proceeds, I guess she's going to donate, or maybe this is part of the grift. I think the Trump kids got a bunch of money for cancer kids and then put up like flagpoles at their at their golf courses. Like, the Trump nonprofit foundation was actually shut down in New York, to the best of my recollection. Somebody fact check me on that if I'm wrong. I think this kind of feels like Warhol and like what he did with Edie Sedgwick and some of that. But speaking of politicians cashing in, obviously Trump has got the $2 billion back. That is worth more than like 4 or 5 times where BuzzFeed is worth. I mean, poor Jonah Peretti and the team over there, like, they put a decade into building BuzzFeed, getting to $360 million in revenue, and they're worth 500 or 600 million, which with the 100 million in cash they have means the business is worth 1 times revenue or 1.4 times revenue. I mean, it's brutal. And then Trump starts a SPAC, does nothing, puts up the worst white paper I've ever seen, the worst pitch deck in the history of pitch decks, literally something that should be on SNL. I mean, and it's worth over $2 billion, and they've got hundreds of millions in cash, and they had a more successful IPO than BuzzFeed? What is happening in the world? This is peak NFT and peak SPAC. Both of these examples are examples of peaks. One of the ways to know you're at a peak is to look for the grift. So here's a lesson for everybody. Consider this a micro lesson for you. Shout out Scott Adams on his micro lessons. Here's a micro lesson. When people who have nothing to do with the technology then go all in to secure the bag, and there's no there, kind of a peaky moment. We saw it with ICOs, right? Paris Hilton and the Kardashians, everybody's ICOing, ICO this, ICO that, and then you saw some of them get fines. Some celebrities got fines, and then the ICO thing went away, and whoever bought ICOs was left holding the bag, I think in large part. Correct me if I'm wrong. There were thousands of these ICOs, and I think none of them were money-making. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a money-making one? Filecoin ICO, maybe? I don't know. But I think almost universally the ICOs became worth zero. Now, when I say, hey, listen, NFTs could become worth like close to zero, 99% of the money spent could go away and there'd be 1%, people say I'm crazy. But it's not exactly what happened with ICOs. Correct me if I'm wrong. 90% of the revenue is gone. It's a grift. They took the money, they ran. NFTs, likely the same thing. 90% of the money spent on NFTs is gone forever. 10% may stick around. 1% may stick around. Who knows? So be careful out there. This is a sign of the peak. But let's be honest. The Trumps pale in comparison in their grift. Pale to previous presidents and families. According to the Financial Times, Penguin Random House paid $65 million for the global rights to 2 books written by Barack and Michelle Obama. And according to CNN Business, the payout for their Netflix deal was in the high 8 figures. I'm guessing they got stock. I heard it was like, I heard this was like another $50 or something million deal. Just as a point of complete randomness. And it's incredible how these two things are absolutely not correlated. They're correlated, but clearly not caused. Netflix stocks went on a 40x rip in the Obama era, going from 1.4 billion to 58 billion. It's obviously at 260 billion today. And Obama did a huge deal with them. These two things are obviously in no way related. And of course, over that decade, what was the number one issue for Netflix? Anybody remember what the number one existential crisis for Netflix was? Net neutrality. Net neutrality. Would they have to pay for all the bandwidth they were using on other people's servers? I wonder what the Obama administration's position on net neutrality was. I gotta look it up. I voted for Obama. Okay, so I'm just saying, presidents and their families are the grifters of the griftiest class. You can go back to the Clintons doing crazy speaking gigs. But yeah, maybe double click on that, and maybe somebody can double click on that and take a look for me. All right. In other incredible news, and congratulations to the founders of Reddit, they just confidentially filed to go public after 16 years. I think it's been over 16 years, hasn't it? And 1.3 billion in funding. The announcement came last night. Steve Huffman has been running the company, and Alexis Ohanian was there for a little bit. Had a little bit of a disaster. They put Ellen Pao in charge for like a year or two, and the thing just almost imploded, from what I read. But they put it back in the hands of the founder, which is always the best idea. And the S1 is not available for us to review yet because this is a confidential filing. So you know they're filing, but they don't put all the data in there yet. According to The Verge, the company has been considering the IPO for some time. We know that. Rumors have been out there. It's Reddit is probably the 20th most traffic site in the world, according to Alexa and SimilarWeb and other places. Here's an image of the chart with companies near them. VK is the Russian Facebook, but they're obviously in a great area. In August, Reddit raised a $700 million Series F at a $10 billion valuation, and they're making hundreds of millions in revenue. The round was led by Fidelity, according to PitchBook, which, public investors dipping down and doing those late stage ones, pretty normal. $100 million in ad revenue for Q2 of 2021. So that's $400 million run rate, 52 million DAOs. And so if we were to compare that to the revenue of BuzzFeed, pretty similar. BuzzFeed's worth 600 million. This company probably going to go out and be worth 20 times that, I would guess. Now, why? Why would this be worth 20 times? Well, BuzzFeed hires a bunch of journalists to get their traffic, and Reddit hires zero. So the community-driven network and community means lower costs, higher number of users. They have 52 million DAOs. I don't know what BuzzFeed has, to be honest, but I think it's nowhere near that. And they have over 100,000 active subreddits. Those are like groups by verticals. And that was the big win, I would say, in the history of Reddit. The two things they got right were subreddits and never changing the interface and just not being put under pressure. Kevin Rose put under a lot of pressure by venture capitalists to change the interface. Condé Nast had bought Reddit, so they didn't invest in it. So as a function of that ridiculous sale of like $10 million to Condé Nast, I think they sold for $6 million or $10 million to Condé Nast. It was like a fire sale. It was crazy. Somebody look it up. Maybe it was more. Maybe it was 20 or 30. Anyway, Condé Nast got it for a fraction of a percentage of what it is worth today. And they apparently didn't really invest in it, so therefore the interface didn't change. When the interface doesn't change, users can just use the product. eBay, Amazon, Craigslist come to mind. And when you don't change the interface, users can just keep using it. SEO can keep growing. And so over 100,000 active sites. Yeah, Condé Nast paid, get this, this is what things were like, $10 million for Reddit in 2006. I had sold Weblogs Inc. for $30 million. And it was just sort of the nature of the time period. It was very small acquisitions. Reddit was considered kind of a sideshow. I wouldn't say a joke. It was just considered like a silly message board. But a silly message board, when the community is truly cherished and valued, I think that's the genius of Alexis Ohanian and Steve. I think those two are product geniuses and community geniuses. I really do mean that sincerely. I'm not just saying that like, they were able to really focus and understand their community, and then everything else worked out. Because if those conversations are baking constantly and people are submitting tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of stories a day, and some number of them get discussions under it. All that content is free, just like Quora's content is free, Stack Overflow's content is free. And this is user-generated content. UGC was all the rage in Web 2.0. And so, Reddit is now worth 1,000 times what Condé Nast paid for it. They have 450 million in yearly ad revenue, according to sources, and 1,400 employees. That means they're making $320,000 per employee. If you did that stat with BuzzFeed, I'm going to almost guarantee it's much less, but I could be wrong. We'll see. The point is, generally speaking, that user-generated content means lower costs. I wonder what all these employees are working on. That's the crazy thing. And so their price to sell, which we've been doing on the show more and more, is 22x. In other words, the value of the corporation to their sales. And that makes sense.
And that's, Jason, that just a note, that's at a $450 million run rate. We gave them a little more credit for growth, assuming they'd grow more after Q2.
So just 3, 2, 1, giving a little credit for some growth on the 100 million a quarter run rate. Let's just say it's 450. At a $10 billion valuation, they're 22 times. If they're growing at 20% a year, seems reasonable to me. I bet you they're also under monetized, which basically means they're probably not making as much per page view as BuzzFeed or, let's say, Jim Bankoff's Vox properties. And so the media business is really hard. You have to deal with a bunch of journalists and content creators, which is brutal, because if you self-select to be a journalist or a content creator, you are by definition opinionated, by definition a debater, great with words. In other words, you're a management nightmare. Writers are the most difficult people to manage in the world, journalists. You see this because what's the big existential crisis for all of those publications? It's the unions and the unionization and the employees walking out and them making crazy demands, yada, yada, yada. That's what Bankoff and Peretti and all those people are struggling through. Even the New York Times is like wire cutters walking out. Everybody's walking out. It's literally like managing journalists. Trust me, I did this. And now I have analysts at Inside. And managing those folks, it is like managing like the members of the Dungeons and Dragons theater and debate club. Like imagine 100 people who were in all three of those clubs. They played Dungeons and Dragons, they were in the theater club and in the debate club, and now you have to manage them. It's crazy. And that's why media brands just have a hard time, and they generally try to stay small, 100 person to 500 person staff. And then Condé Nast did such a brilliant job. Okay, we'll give, Graydon Carter, Vanity Fair on one floor, and Anna Wintour gets Vogue on one floor. Different cultures, little micro ecosystems, 100 to 500 people. They have their own P&L. Because once you get to the New York Times scale or Vox's scale, now you're seeing what's happening. The unions are like, oh, we got to get the wire cutter people. We got to combine them with this group of people, the curbed people, the New York Mag union. And you have, I think Vox has like 7 unions inside of Vox. These businesses are challenged. Vox is actually pretty profitable, actually. Jim Bankoff knows what he's doing. And that's probably a smart plan, because if you're not profitable, I think people are going to put you in a bucket like it'll never be profitable. And this is just a bad business model. So smart move on Bankoff's part to focus on profitability. I think that's going to make Vox actually maybe live up to their valuation in the private markets, maybe why Peretti and BuzzFeed isn't. I think if BuzzFeed can show they can be profitable, have a 30% margin, their fate will change. There's really only the hard part about community is being patient. That's the hard part about building community. It's just a slow burn. I call it like hot coals marketing. You have to just build up a base of like hot coals. And then when you put a log on a bunch of hot coals, it goes on fire. If you put 3 logs in a fire pit, throw some money on top of it, lighter fluid, and you light it on fire, you're just going to get a charred group of 3 logs. So you have to be patient for the first 5 or 10 years to just build a community that likes to see each other. And when they're not in the community, they're kind of bummed. And they're like, oh, I miss my community. I got to go back and check, which is how I am with Knicks Fan TV or the This Week in Startups community. And the other thing is like Slack and Discord. That's a little bit too fast for most people in their passions. In other words, if you go to a Discord, like you're not going to scroll up for the last 24 hours and look at that conversation and try to read it like it's a transcript. A court stenographer did it. You kind of prefer the lightness and the ease of using algorithmically based subreddit, right? It's kind of a brilliant model. And so moderation is a slight problem. People making bad Reddits. Obviously, there's a ton of porn Reddits, and there were a ton of hate Reddits. They got rid of all the hate. I think they still have all the adult content, which I think Tumblr had adult content too. Twitter's got a lot of adult content. These companies have done a really good job of turning that off by default, and then having the people who are making the adult content flag it. So if you're not flagging it, they'll flag it for you, I think, is what happens. And so a lot of these are offshore. So there's 1,400 employees. I wouldn't be surprised if 500 of them are in the Philippines, in Manila, getting paid $1 to $3 an hour US, which is a great salary over there. Translates really well to a middle-class income from what I understand. And they're just trained, like, this is porn. If it's porn, just label it porn. And so all that will come out. Maybe it's, 20 or 30% adult content. I'm sorry, I should probably use that word on some of these sites, Twitter, et cetera, but you don't see it. It's kind of hidden, and they probably can't monetize it either. So it's kind of like a growth hack, but those are the only issues. Reddit, great community, great site. And congratulations to that team. I think it's going to do very well. Okay, let's do a quick intro here.
And say, let's get to my interview with Tony Hale.
Tony Hale. Oh, at the end of the news story?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2. All right. Congratulations to Alexis Ohanian, Steve Huffman, and the entire team. Both have been on the pod a couple times. Both great entrepreneurs. A lot of respect for both of them in their careers. And let's go on to my interview with Scroll founder, former CEO of Chartbeat, and now, one of the great product people at Twitter, Tony Hale.
Good. Intro's right below it.
All righty. 3, 2. Okay, everybody. Strong show for you today. Melania Trump is dropping her own NFT platform. I kid you not. We are at a peak. It's a peak. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our grift of the day, a little bit about Trump, a little bit about the Obamas. I think actually her NFT platform, I might be a contrarian here. It's kind of dope. And Reddit just filed to go public. I'm going to break down their metrics: revenue, price to sales, revenue per employee, and what is the genius of Reddit and how it got here, and how just masterful Alexis and Steve, the co-founders, are as co-founders, but also community builders. They really are savants at that, just total impresarios. Then I'm going to interview my friend Tony Hale. I invested in his first company, Chartbeat, his second company, Scroll. Scroll was bought by Twitter. Scroll is a big part of Twitter Blue. He's got a lot of ideas on micropayments for and subscriptions for news. We had a really open discourse about Twitter's product and what it's like to be a founder and go into a big company. And he was pretty honest. And we went a little double-clicked on Twitter's roadmap and what they're doing over there. And he even talked a little bit about the unexpected CEO change. So he was super honest. And I really appreciate Twitter's comms and communication groups allowing their executives to come on this program and talk. I think it's like a really cool thing. We don't get that from the Facebooks of the world or the Instagrams. So thank you for that. Or even Susan Wojcicki at YouTube. I've invited her many times. A lot of the big companies are not sharing their executives to talk about product and the company and where they're going. But Twitter has made the decision to be really open and talk to their users. So I do appreciate that. Stick with us. It's going to be a great show.
Good. All right. Upload that file.
Will do. Oh, God. My QuickTime wasn't on. Fuck with you, it was.
Oh.
I got you, shows.
Oh, dear. Nick, are we going to do the ad reads later?
Let me see how many we have.
Somebody done fucked up. Somebody fucked up. What is this with the ad reads on the daily? I thought we were agreed we're going to do this like the week before.
There was a lot this week, and I knew that you wouldn't do them all at once. So I decided to parse them in daily to break up the pain a little bit.
When I'm going strong on them, give me an extra 2. So when you see me, I'm like hitting it. Just be like, hey, you want to do 2 more? Because sometimes I'm in that.
Okay. You have 2 right now.
Live.
Can you do them?
Yeah, I'm still live.
It's fine to be live. I'll do these after. I want to get onto my accelerator.
All right, go ahead.
All
Jackie
right.
was doing a check first, but she just finished, so go ahead.
She finished the check? Oh, then I can do the ads. Let's do the ads then. Sorry. If you're in touch with her, that's fine. I moved it back 15 minutes, just so you know. Keep an eye on the calendar, because what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drag, because I can drag it. I'm just going to drag it if I'm like 15 minutes late. I don't know if it emails you automatically, but
It does.
Maybe It doesn't. Okay. We should probably
unless I'm an invitee on the.
So we should then put you guys as invitees on these news records, and then if you see me just drag it and move it, it should give you an alert. And let's see if that works. When I'm just running 5 minutes behind, you'll see me move it in real time. Okay.
Squarespace and disruptive advertising.
And Molly is on the chat right now, so
she's on the Slack. Yep, she just Slack Charles and I.
She's on Slack too. Okay, so she's on the iMessage and the Slack. Great, awesome. So let's get that.
Restart your QuickTime real quick.
Yeah, QuickTimey.
Old timey, quick timey.
All right, recording QuickTime, 4 seconds. Upload complete for the news program. And here we go to some ad reads, everybody. All right, my ad reads, everybody.
Top 2, Squarespace and disruptive.
Two of my favorite. Well, disruptive is kind of new, actually. Here we go. 3, 2. If you want to make the jump in 2022 and start your own online business or blog, well, Squarespace is the answer. And I encourage you to be an entrepreneur, to chart your own path. And Squarespace is the foundation of you taking that journey. It's the first step to put out your idea in the world on a beautiful website that's responsive, that you can use all of these gorgeous templates, and you, a company of one that is put in under an hour, will look as good as companies that have 1 million or 100,000 employees. It's the truth. Squarespace is the answer for making beautiful websites that are highly functional with built-in marketing tools and analytics. I've watched this company grow for a decade. Anthony and his team have done a wonderful job. And you don't just get publishing content. Obviously, that's where they started, publishing beautiful content on beautiful templates. But you get to promote your business, announce events or projects, and you can sell products and services now. They have beautiful templates. I want to just make sure that's clear. World-class designers. They pay them to make beautiful templates, and they have a ton of them. Plus, they added that powerful e-commerce functionality years ago, so you can sell. And everything's optimized for mobile. You got built-in SEO, so you don't have to hire some consultant who rips you off and then disappears. Plus, you get free and secure hosting, so you don't have to worry about getting hacked and then hiring a sysadmin, all that wasted money. It's all abstracted into one simple low price. At my favorite website builder, Squarespace, I've been using it for a decade. Free and secure hosting, plus at 24/7 award-winning customer support. They know that if you're building a business and listen, you got a question. If they answer your questions, you're going to stick with their platform over the other ones. That's why they've invested so much in their customer support. Go to squarespace.com/twist. Please go to squarespace.com/twist and just start your free trial. When you're ready to launch, use the offer code TWIST, TWIST, and you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And that's how easy it is. You can get your domain name over there too. I mean, think about it. It's like in the old days. You had to hire an SEO person, hire a sysadmin, get a server, open an AWS account, pick which blog software you wanted to use, pick which commerce. I mean, this would be tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even over $100,000. I had some founder just, in the last decade spent $250,000 on a website. And I was like, you could have done this on Squarespace for like, $20. Like, what are you doing here? So go ahead and go to squarespace.com/twist. They are amongst the longest running supporters of This Week in Startups, which means you, my loyal audience, should support them. Anybody in your family, any of your friends, any of your projects at work, just go use squarespace.com/twist. Okay, great job, team. How's that? A little passion for the Squarespace there?
Great read.
Anything
One of your
I
best
missed?
ones ever.
All right, there we go.
8.5.
Fucker. Did I say that? Sorry. All right, just have advertising for you too. All right, listen. Have Apple's new privacy updates impacted your attribution for paid ads? I bet it has. Well, there's good news. The folks at Disruptive Advertising can help you. They manage over $250 million a year in advertising spend. That means they're experts. That means they get to see all these changes and they get to solve problems before anybody else has even figured out those problems exist. They're trusted by hundreds of brands like Adobe and Scotts Miracle-Gro. So if your Google and Facebook ads are not scaling like they used to, you got to reach out to Disruptive. They're going to look to help you scale your spend profitably. And how are they going to do that? By diversifying your ad strategy on less popular platforms. And listen, every platform takes like a year to master. Well, they've mastered them all already because that's their job. It's all they do. Focus. Their marketing consultants focus on end-to-end tracking across your CRM, marketing automations, and your e-commerce platforms. So they're thinking holistically about your whole marketing stack. And what Disruptive really focuses on is contribution margin, profitability, and close deals. They don't want to just spend your money and give you a high five. No, they're looking at your actual business metrics that matters. The contribution margin, your profitability, what deals you're closing with those leads. And they want to reach startups and mid-sized companies and help you grow. And obviously they work with the big companies already. So how about this? How about I get you $1,000 off your first month of service at disruptiveadvertising.com/twist. Disruptiveadvertising.com/twist to get $1,000 off. It's a great crew over there. I met the founder. They really love the show. They love helping startups. So go ahead and give them a shot, right? And then report back to me. Tell me how you did. All right, let's get back to the program.
Great. Thank you very much. You're good.
You're welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Upload that audio, please.
Oh, fuck, my quick.
Okay.
It's a dad joke now. You guys laughed twice.
Yeah, it's very good.
Now you're fucked.
It's very
Not
good.
a single tea slurp this whole morning.
No. All right.
I don't have any tea. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure that's in. Oh, you're clearing your throat now? Is that your... So I do my slurp and you do the throat clearing? Yeah, it's so funny. Oh, my Lord. I can't wait to see how happy everybody in my company is with their 2 weeks off. Except for us. We got to wait a second. I tell everybody not to work for 2 weeks. We have to come in. I'm the only
person that's...
Oh, you're the only one? It's just going to be me and you?
Me. Yeah.
Oh, everybody else going to fuck off?
Well, no, it's just all in are the only things that are happening.
Wait. I thought
we're going to have the 2 episodes. You're
banking?
Yeah, we're going to bank them. Yeah.
Ooh, banky poo. Yeah. What if I want?
Yeah, we're going to do one is going to be... Actually, we could tell everybody. One is going to be the Twisties, right? So the award show, we're going to reflect on the best moments of the show.
So everybody, can people go back and find the previous Twisties and tell us your
favorite
moments?
Year. Mm-hmm.
No, I know, but I did them in the early days with Lon Harris. So if we can get some Twisties going or the Twist Awards or anything you can find, and if we had some other categories we didn't, and if you have ideas for categories or whatever, just send them to producers at thisweekinstartups.com, please. Give us some ideas, for the producers. Mm-hmm. Just like help us out.
And then the other episode is going to air on the 28th, and that's going to be Molly Wood's intro episode, first episode with Molly.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Mollywood.
You could talk about her career, how she got here, and
Mollywood. Oh, that's great. Oh, this would be funny. There are these places you can go do parody songs and stuff like that.
Oh.
So Charles, this is in your wheelhouse. Let's make like some fun lyrics to welcome her to the show to the tune of that Hollywood song.
Yeah.
It could just be like 2 or 3 verses and then get somebody to actually sing it. And I'll surprise her on air with it.
I think
we'll just do it on her opening show.
I hope she's not watching now because she just spoiled it.
She's not watching now. But even if she is, it's still a funny shtick.
I don't know.
I want to do more funny shtick. I think people really liked Guess the Fake Startup. I think they liked our secession breakdown. So I think putting in some human moments like that, I think people like it. The tangents. I used to do a lot more tangents. So now that we have structure, just a little bit of fun moments. You guys like the fun moments? Let me know. Oh, the neon sign is great. I wonder if that would be a better gift. To do the work neon sign would be a better gift for people. Autographed by Jaco. All right, I gotta go.
Instead of the
you gotta
mug and the gold belly.
Exactly. We can get like a little one made.
That's a good idea.
Yes to human moments. People like it. Okay, Nora, thank you for that. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go help startups. I gotta do my day job. My other day. One of my 4 day jobs. I gotta go do.
All right. See.